So, in the interest of time, I'm just going to jump right into the demo. This is just a lo-fi song, and I'm going to play this loop of the unaffected song first so that you can hear what it sounds like for a basis of comparison. All right, I'm going to mess around. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. My name's Ryan. I hope you're all as caffeinated as I am this morning or this evening, this afternoon, whenever it may be for you. I'm here to tell you about this thing that you just saw in the intro of this video that I've been working on for like a couple months, several months. As some of you know, I've been doing open source generative audio related stuff for quite some time. This is sort of the culmination of that, the current culmination. So I'm really excited to tell you about it and show you how to use it. Basically, I've made ACEStep 1.5 so fast that you can play it like an instrument and get real-time feedback as you dial knobs. So why did I do this? Two reasons. One is that making music is inherently real time. When you strike a key on your piano or a string on your guitar, you must have instantaneous feedback. It's very unpleasant if you don't. We all know this. So music is inherently real time. The other reason is purely philosophical. And this same philosophy has guided me basically since the advent of generative AI through all my comfy node packs and through this, which is that I think it's important to keep a human being in the process. Part of this is coming from the fact that AI is now better at making music than I am, which is heartbreaking. But the other part is that I think that the output is more meaningful when we can approach craftsmanship during the creative process, like to the extent at least that is possible when using generative AI. So for the rest of the video, I'm going to briefly tell you how I did this, and then I'll just do a live demo. Editing Ryan here, just popped in because the other guy forgot a few things. He forgot, one, this runs locally on all the numbers are from 5090s and 4090s, but it will run on with a 3090. If you do not have a 30, 40, or 5090, you can try this. We are hosting it for you. There's a link in the description. He also forgot to plug the other links and the channel. So like, comment, subscribe. There's a link to the GitHub. Give us stars. There's a link to CivitAI. Download the LoRa's. We're going to start building this in public. There's a link to the Discord. So come hang out with us, air your grievances, call us names, all that stuff. Yeah, without further ado, back to the other guy. Bye-bye. Many of you know StreamDIffusion. I've borrowed, this is built on their idea of their ring buffer. So StreamDIffusion uses stable diffusion, and it takes input images, denoises them, and you get AI images out. And they do it very, very fast. And one of the key ways they did that is by batching many images together and denoising them all at once. So we're doing the same thing, except instead of images, it's full ACEStep songs. And instead of stable diffusion 1.5, it's ACEStep 1.5. There are a few, and then since we have this ring buffer and I want instantaneous feedback, let me find this little diagram here. Where is it? It doesn't matter. Since I want that instantaneous feedback, the ring buffer delays the propagation of when I turn it on. So a bunch of work that I did was to reduce that latency. There's and it's achieved to varying degrees depending on the parameter, on the chosen parameter. So and then there's a few other things I did, like a windowed VAE decode is a new thing, and then TensorRT, stuff like that. It doesn't really matter. If you want the full details, just I'll post the project page in the link below, in the description below. So if you want more detail, just check that out. So in the interest of time, I'm just going to jump right into the demo. This is just a lo-fi song, and I'm going to play this loop of the unaffected song first so that you can hear what it sounds like for a basis of comparison. All right, I'm going to mess around. Voila. So that's that. You can use any input song. We got a bunch of features in here that, like, you can do vocal overlay. I'm not going to do that for YouTube because they would crush this video if I used an input that's has copyright. So let me just quickly tell you about what these controls do. This strength here, so these three knobs up here are the core knobs, and they have an outsized impact on the output. Strength is denoise. Some of you are familiar with this. We truncate the schedule, and you can think of it as the overall strength. So when it's all the way down, you get the unaffected track, and when it's all the way up, you get the fully denoised track, like the model spends the longest amount of time futzing with it. So you've got your strength, your overall strength. You have your structure, and this uses a reference track, and this is all ACEStep here. Very cool. You use a reference track to guide the model, and by default, we're using the input track as the structure reference so that we can actually preserve, like it's a remix instead of a brand new song. You can do some interesting stuff here. You can change the structure reference to a completely unrelated song and dial it just right. I've gotten some really cool stuff, like turn it into like a shuffle, like weird stuff. Very, very cool. Same thing goes for the timbre reference. This is kind of like an IP adapter or an instant LoRa, where you can use a reference track and get some of the sonic quality from that track, and the same rules apply. You can use a totally different input track, and this is really valuable because, like, maybe I'll even show it to you right now. You can do this live. Play. Too thrash, yeah. So it's rather subtle, but if we had longer, I could probably whip together a better example of it. But if you go back and listen, you'll hear that it got more distorted because I was using a thrash metal reference on this lo-fi track. So just to recap, these are the biggest three knobs, and the least creative the model can be is with strength set at 0. And the most creative the model can be is with strength set to 1 and structure and timbre set to 0. And that's because we're fully denoising with no guidance. Okay, so those 3 knobs are the big ones. And then we've got a bunch of other stuff that you may or may not be familiar with. These are the prompts. You can blend between the prompts in real time. You can add and subtract LoRa's, like hot swap them. You can adjust their strength. I'll be releasing these in batches on CivitAI. I'll link below. So these are like the main things to get your overall style. All right. I'm just going to quickly go over this other stuff. We've got some engine things. Feedback is like latent feedback's pretty cool. And the depth of that feedback. And then these 2 are important because they control a couple of things. I mentioned before the ring buffer and how changes propagating through that ring buffer create a delay from when you turn certain knobs to when you hear it. The depth of that ring buffer directly impacts that amount of time. So it's a trade-off between throughput and parameter convergence. So the higher the ring buffer, the higher the throughput. But the slower the parameter updates. The lower the ring buffer is the inverse. So 4 is a sweet spot, but if you're making sudden changes, you could get a latency is lower than 100 milliseconds if you do a depth of 1. But if you do a sweep with a depth of 1, it won't be as smooth as if you did it with a depth of 8. I'm hoping that makes sense. You can adjust the throughput and latency by changing the ring buffer depth. I will warn you, the higher the ring buffer depth, the more VRAM. Okay, another knob, but this one trades between quality and latency, are the steps. This is the ACEStep turbo model. So it's optimized for 8 steps. You get diminishing returns when you turn the steps up, but 12 steps is better than 8 steps in terms of quality. And it's honestly probably like worth the latency trade-off. All right, so those are the engine things. We got DCW. I actually want to show you this. It's wild. It sounds crazy. So here's maximally creative, and I just want to mess with the. It's very sensitive. And anyways, you can get some wild stuff messing with DCW here. Down here we have an experimental preview. This is more research that I'm doing, and we're just cranking around the latent channels of the model. They all work, they're just unclassified at the moment. So definitely check them out. Like they'll do things like change the density of the output. Like you turn a certain knob with a certain input, you get staccato instead of legato with like an instrument. It's very interesting. You can get some really cool stuff. And then we've got some configuration things here, like the key and the time signature. For whatever reason, we forgot to put BPM. So we will add that, but we do try to auto detect this stuff for you when you upload a song. So in the interest again of brevity, I think I'm going to leave it here. Like, comment, subscribe. If you appreciate this stuff, again, just give us stars on GitHub. We're going to start building this in public so you can hang out in the Discord. I'll link all this stuff below. But yeah, I hope you like it. I've lost hours and hours playing with this, so careful. All right, I'm still Ryan. Bye-bye.